So hello guys, welcome back to another demo. Today I'll be explaining you about the Google authentication or Google Oauth security system. Like how can you directly log in and sign up into any website using your Google account or GitHub account or your LinkedIn, your Twitter, anyone that gives you an option to like authenticate your that particular website to another website. So let's get it through an example. So let's take an example of a Google authentication and an e-commerce website. In our case, we are taking as a e-commerce website. We can take any other website like a traveling website, an educational website. It can be any other website. So Google will have many things like resources API, services will be there, and data will be there. Let's take another one as our e-commerce website. So you must have seen like when you go to any website, it will give you an option to like basically create an account with Google, create an account with GitHub, create an account with Twitter, LinkedIn, XYZ, or you can directly log in through that Google or GitHub or LinkedIn. So how basically it gives us access to connect this e-commerce website or any other website to any authenticator website. So let's say if Google is allowing e-commerce website to create an account with Google. So Google must have given something to an e-commerce website. Let's take an example of an it must have given a authentication key, whether it's you or you are allowed to like log in into this e-commerce website or create an account into this e-commerce website. So it must have given something like you can take these things from the Google from my Google ID, and you can directly create an account to your e-commerce website. When you must have seen like when you create an account with Google, you get an option, I am ready to allow and share my Google ID with this e-commerce website or any other website. I'm ready to allow and share my Google name or any other thing that Google is giving you to give a permission or to authorize to any other website. So let's see. when you will create an account, so Google will ask you, so share my Google, share my Gmail ID, share my name, share my age, or any XYZ things, so that uh, any other website can create your account into that website directly via Google. So I will show you an example how basically it will look like. I have created an e-commerce website or an Airbnb clone, you can say, in my college times. In that also I have given an option like you can create or login sign up through a Google or a GitHub account. So you can see it as you can see here. I have given an option to continue with Google or to continue with GitHub. So let's coming back to this point where it is basically used, where authentication is basically used. It is mainly used for login and sign up. You can create many points for this, but it is mainly used for the login and sign up page, so that one website will give you an authentication or give you an authorization to like create an account through my website or through my ID to another website, as I have given you an example through Google ID to a e-commerce website. So let's take a look at the overflow of the authentication diagram. Basically it will work, how authorization key will work, how client ID, client secret will be added here. I will take this part as a Google, and this will have various things like I've already told you in previous slide, like resources API will be there, services will be there, data will be there. Let's take this as a user. So basically when a user will go onto any e-commerce website, it will get a he or she will get an option to like create an account with GitHub or create an account with uh, Google. So e-commerce website isn't going to like give you an option to to create an account through Google from their website. It will redirect you to the Google, so that Google will give you an authentication, like you can go back to the e-commerce website, and then e-commerce website will again go to the Google, then Google will give us some kind of key. So let's see how basically it will work. So first part will be like this. Sign up with Google. Second part, it will basically redirect you, that e-commerce website will redirect to the user. Redirect to Google for authentication. Now the user will go to the Google. It will ask some things like give me your email, give me your name. So Google will allow. Basically Google will give you an option to what kind of things you want to share: email, e-name, proper like full name, proper DOB, address. So you will get an option to select those things what you want to share and what you don't want to share. So you can directly select that options, what basically you want another website, e-commerce website or any other website to access. So basically Google will give you an option, and after that, after selecting, I am selecting email and name here. So this will be our third thing. Fourth will be like Google have approved this. After that, Google will go to the user. After that, after giving an access via Google, the user will again go to the e-commerce website. The user will not go, but internally user is going to the e-commerce website, and it will see I have got an access of email and name. So it will basically create an authentication code, so that that authentication code will go to the Google, and Google will verify that it's the same authentication code. So I can give access to these email and name, and you can create your account via Google. So let's see the further steps. authentication code. Authentication is code, like basically in previous demos I have explained you about client id and client secret when we were working on a PayPal developer website. So there you must have got a client id and client secret. Authentication code is just like that. You can take it example as a client id and client secret. It is some kind of code, authentication code or hash code, you can say. Like large number of code will be given and you won't be able to see it. So let's take it example as a code, or say it as a code. So seventh part will be this. The code will be shared to the Google, and the Google will verify whether it's the same authentication code which e-commerce website have given me or not. After that Google will basically verifies whether it's your authentication code or token, you can say, or not. So I'm writing that down. This will be our eighth step. Google will verify your token code, or you can say authentication code, that it's the same or not. We use Using this code, user can access this. After this the final part will be like Google have verified that it's your token that you have got from e-commerce website. So it will give you an authentication that you can go to the e-commerce website, and I am giving you an authorization to create an account via Google. So if when you will create an account or sign up your account through an Google, you will be able to directly log in into your account in future, like a normal account that happens. This will be our ninth part, authentication. Access token. So I want to clear one thing, like don't get it like authentication code is given by the e-commerce website, uh, not by the Google website. Basically, when user will go to the Google at the first step, it will give us the authentication code. Then it will go to the e-commerce website. As I have written on the sixth step, it will match the authentication code, or it will store in the e-commerce website. Then after that, e-commerce website will direct user to the Google. Then Google will matches, like it's the same authentication code that I have given to the e-commerce website. After that, it will give us the access to create an account. So when the Google will give us the authentication code, when Google will give us the authentication code, that workplace, you can say, or where the code is given, that server will be known as authorization server. So like basically this part where the authentication code will be given at the first step, after that it will be given to the e-commerce website. So this part where the code has been generated at first step, so this will be our like basically authorization server. And what is e-commerce, where the token is verified, where the token is verified, not verified, basically it will, it the token will be given by the Google, or you can say the token will be given by Google. So this workplace will be known as resource server. Like this part, after at the first step when Google will give us the authentication code, it will go to the e-commerce website. This part where the authentication code will be checked, after that it will be again passed through user to the Google. So this part is basically known as the resource server. So in simple words, authorization server manages access token and resource server responsible for managing the resources. I've already shown you the example how basically it will look alike. You can see it again. We will see the working if possible in our upcoming demos. So it will look like this, like continue with Google, continue with GitHub. Internally what will happen, I have explained you in this in this PPT, so you can read it. And after this demo, uh, that's basically it for this demo. Authentication part has been done. We won't be going for the implementation part. If possible, we can see it in our other demos. So what will be our next demo? Our next demo will be based on security. What we will use for security, like basically when you do any kind of payment, so how will anything will verify that it's you or not. So for that we'll be creating hash codes. For that hash codes, how hash code look like, it will look like this. So how it will be created, hash code, how it will be created. So we will see about these things in our next demo. So that's it for the current demo. For this demo, I will share all the PPT in my description, YouTube description. You can check it out.